with the establishment of Duopharma Berhad in 1978 in Malaysia. This company was incorporated in 2000 and now it is one of Malaysia's leading pharmaceutical companies listed on the main market of Bursa Malaysia Berhad. The headquarters of Duopharma, which is at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, owns and operates 3 manufacturing plants in Klang, Bangi, and Glamouris, Selangor. The company also has subsidiary companies in the Philippines and Singapore. A subsidiary of Duopharma Biotech Berhad has a representative office in Jakarta, Indonesia. This company has strong presence in the pharmaceutical industry, inclusively in manufacturing, research and development, and commercialization and marketing of over 300 generic drugs. One of it is the well-known brand, which is Thames.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Ainfa binti Ahmad. So today I will present about liquidity ratio. Based on the graph of current ratio and quick ratio, we can analyze that the year of 2016 was become the highest percent on the performance of current ratio and quick ratio rather than other. Comparing to all the 5 years of annual report, Duopharma had the highest net working capital on 2020 and the lowest on 2018. Overall, 2018 has become the lowest in liquidity ratio.
Next is leverage ratio. Duopharma debt ratio shows that the company has more ability to pay their debt on 2016, while the ability to pay the debt on 2018 quite low. As for the time interest earned, it shows a fluctuated in 5 years. However, the ability of Duopharma to pay the interest has increased for 3 years. As shows in the debt-to-equity ratio, Duopharma fluctuates in 5 years. It is because it shows that during 2018 and 2019, the company depends more on their bank's loan compared to 2016 and 2017. Duopharma has higher debt dependency in 2 years, which is 2018 and 2019 compared to 2016. In 2020, Duopharma has higher time interest and as they able to settle the interest payment obligation. Overall, the leverage activity of Duopharma is quite presentable, but it still can be improved.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Wan Suriati binti Wan Omar. I will continue this presentation by explaining the activity ratio. In a 5-year comparison, Duopharma had the best efficiency in managing inventory assets in 2019. According to the graph above, the ratio increased from 2016 to 2019, then decreased in 2020 due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Duopharma is able to use their total assets efficiently when it increased in 2017, the highest year, and then decreased again in the most recent year, 2020. In comparison, Duopharma recovered debts on time the most in 2016 out of the 5 years. Despite a decline in the ratio in 2017, the firm is expected to develop modestly until 2020. Overall, the most recent year, 2020, has been the year with the lowest or unfavorable activity ratio for Duopharma.
I will proceed with profitability ratio. So first, we look at the gross profit margin. Based on 5-year gross profit margin of Duopharma Biotech Berhad annual report, the highest gross profit margin is in 2016, which is 46.08%, while the lowest is in year 2017, which is 39.93%. A higher gross profit margin means that the company has more cash to pay for indirect and other. Okay, next we move to the operating profit margin. According to the operating profit margin graph of Duopharma Biotech Berhad, the highest operating profit margin is in 2020, which is 14.36%, and the lowest is in 2016, which is 10.48%. A higher operating margin indicates that the company is earning enough money from business operations to pay for all of the associated costs involved in maintaining the business. Usually, above 15% is considered good. Next is net profit margin. Net profit margin, or also known as net margin, indicates how much net income a company makes with total sales achieved. A higher net profit margin means that a company is more efficient at converting sales into actual profit. Based on the NPM graph, the highest is in 2020, which is 10.28%, and the lowest is in 2017, which is 9.07%. A 10% of net profit margin is considered average, a 20% margin is considered high or good, and below 5% of margin is considered low. Return on assets ratio measures how effectively a company can earn a return on its investment in assets. In other words, return on assets shows how efficiently a company can convert the money used to purchase assets into net income or profits. The annual return on assets of Duopharma Biotech Berhad showed the highest return in 2017 with 6.02%, while year 2016 is the lowest return, which is 4.06%. Return on equity of 15% to 20% are generally considered good. Return on equity is more important to shareholders than return on investment because it tells the investors how effectively their capital is being reinvested. Duopharma Biotech Berhad annual return on equity is in 2019 is the highest, which is 10.43%, and the lowest is in 2016, which is 5.90%. For overall, the return on equity in the last 5 years is considered bad.
The EPS ratio shows the increasing portion of a company's profit that is allocated to every individual share of the stock. Despite the fact that the ratio dropped in 2017, the firm continued to improve until 2020. This will attract the investors to invest in this company because it is a steady source of income. A higher EPS indicates greater value because investors will pay more for a company's shares if they think the company has higher profit relative to its share price.
Price-to-earning ratio. Duopharma Biotech Berhad is poor value based on its price-to-earning ratios in 2018, which is 13.09 times, and the good value is in 2020, which is the highest PE ratio, 39.95 times. A high PE ratio is usually indicated positive future performance, and the investors are willing to pay more for the company's share. A company with lower ratio, on the other hand, is usually an indication of poor current and future performance. The higher the PE ratio, the more overvalued a stock may be.
The conclusion is overall company performance by the years is better and appreciable. Other than that, liquidity by the years of company performance is favorable and meets short-term obligation in majority. Because of that, the graph will show the possibility to stabilize in year 2021 because it can meet the short-term obligation. Activity ratio on the last year performance has shown that the company performance failed to generate account receivables perfectly. Duopharma need to arrange better plan and strategies for their management and generate more profit to ensure great performance in future. That's all from me. Thank you.